The 20th century has given birth to many interior design styles. They are more like modern, coastal, minimalist, boho, and industrial, which are mainstream decorating styles. Many stores and people sell products that go hand in hand with the mainstream of these styles. However, today we will look at 7 most popular interior design styles in which we are taking bits and pieces of each to learn about the art of design styles. One, Vintage Revival. The first trend that will grab your attention is vintage revival, which many designers have been gravitating towards most lately. Many designers have been avidly thrift shopping and antique shopping just to mix old pieces with the latest ones to make them feel new. This is the essence of vintage revival. This type of design style is a mix of old pieces mixed with more modern silhouettes or modern styles that revive the older pieces to make them look new, but they still bring that character and that age and the overall vibe of the vintage pieces to your space. Vintage revival is more of an overarching umbrella underneath that you have different styles of vintage revival. For example, you could do a bohemian vintage revival, or an art deco vintage revival, based on the era of furniture you are getting or the vintage that you are incorporating and the style you are aiming for in your space. Vintage revival feels like a lot of the color tones are moodier. There are a bunch of muddy neutrals, and accent pops of color give it a vintage or antique feel. Adding color to any style is an excellent way to incorporate that style. Vintage revival can be a choice if you are looking for colorful interior design styles. The key to getting this design style is thinking outside the box and mixing old with new. 2. Dark academia. The second most popular interior design style is unique and is more so for very specific people, and that is dark academia. This is kind of a fashion aesthetic and overall, like photo aesthetic for a long period, but it has been making its way into interior design. Many references to dark academia can be seen in interior design photography. One of the reference points for dark academia is Harry Potter. Another thing to keep in mind for this design style is that there are usually a lot of items used, so it seems like a type of maximal design. There are shelves filled with antique pieces and ornate frames like a 1930s science room or a room where you would create a potion in. So just a lot of access to items, but it overall creates the vibe of a dark, moody, and eclectic space. Dark themes from modern interior design styles are popular these days. 3. Wabi-sabi. The third design style is one you might have heard of before because it is becoming extremely popular in 20th century interior design styles, and that is wabi-sabi design. Wabi-sabi is a Japanese term meaning to find beauty and imperfections, so a lot of wabi-sabi style spaces are very organic. They have lots of natural elements in them, and a lot of earthy tones as well. It includes a lot of plants in these types of spaces, lots of wood, lots of organic touches, and imperfections along the way. A lot of people are trying to emulate the use of natural resources in decor. For example, beautiful pottery pieces or antique pottery that have a kind of distress on them add a wabi-sabi element. They are imperfect, but they add that pleasant touch to the space, and unlike dark academia, wabi-sabi design is normally on the more minimal side, so there are not a lot of pieces of decor or accent. They want the imperfections and small details to shine in these spaces. Some things to consider if you want to give your space a similar look are natural elements, such as organically shaped furniture pieces. 4. Grand Millennial. The fourth design style is known as Grand Millennial. A way to describe this style is granny chic, so you could imagine visiting your grandmother's house, and it is nicely put together with lots of different elements in it. That kind of is a Grand Millennial style. However, Designers are now utilizing it in a way to take that look of collected items and mix it with more of a modern take to create this unique look known as Grand Millennial. A Grand Millennial design style can be an ideal option for classic interior design styles. This design style contains many interesting prints and a softer color palette, but a lot of clashing colors at the same time, and also a bunch of furniture pieces that don't exactly go together. But in the end, when you place them in a space, it just works, and it is one of the harder design styles to achieve. If you take it overboard or you don't do enough, this design will look unfinished or incomplete. But if you do it in the right way and focus on it and understand what a Grand Millennial is, you can create such a uniquely designed space. 5. Maximalism. Maximalism is one of the decorating styles where there is a lot of stuff. However, at the same time, it does not overcrowd the space with too many options for decor or furniture. The new Maximalism style is going all out with colors, textures, patterns, and decor going the full 9 yards, but not taking it to the extreme of turning your space into a thrift store or something insane. Maximalism has an optimistic and nostalgic vibe to it. In addition, there are layered patterns, interesting textiles, and textures. It doesn't solely mean maximizing your space with as much as you can put into it. It is more so maximizing what you visually see with your eyes, so really using color wisely and using deep colors and deep tones and just simplifying every aspect of the space. So go intense with your textures, intense with your colors, intense with your patterns, and intense with your furnishings. The biggest takeaway from maximalism is utilizing your wall space. Therefore, a lot of minimalized spaces have a bunch of artworks on the wall, collages, wallpapers, art, or wall decor, and overall maximize the use of their space. 6. Danish pastel. Working our way into our second last design style, this one is known as Danish pastel. It is more pastel tones, bubbly furniture, curves, soft linear patterns, graphics, acrylic plastic, and shiny glossy finishes. It has a very delicate aesthetic to it. A blend of pastel tones and a wavy bench with a gingham printed throw blanket give it a soft vibe. When it comes to Danish pastel, you can achieve its look by having the right color palette in your space. Hence, this design style can be incorporated into colorful interior design styles. The reason this is called Danish pastel is that these spaces are traditionally very minimal, which lends to the Danish way of living. A lot of Danish people live a simple, minimalistic, happy, and colorful lifestyle, and this style represents that. This design has been extremely popular on TikTok over the last year. 7. Monochromatic. Our last design on the list is called monochromatic. Monochromatic means you are using the same base color across your entire space, but this has done it to a new extreme, like literally taking your floor, your walls, your furniture, your decor, and every single element like the same shade and hue of a specific color you are going for. Essentially, a monochromatic space consists of many monochromatic elements that make it a stylish and interesting space. These monochromatic spaces are all of one color. They can have different shades of color, but mixing different patterns, shapes, textures, and silhouettes within that color is what makes that style unique. Interior design styles speak to you because it can take a lot of guesswork out of designing your own home. This is because you can create a functional and visually appealing space. After all, a lot of designers have done the work for you. Typically, these types are associated with a certain time in history or a geographical area. They sort of point out that they are all designed to function together, and that makes it easier to design your home. If you are living in California or want to move and looking for a place to stay and decorate, then do with your imagination combined with the ideas given above. Also, you can contact Eric Breuer Interiors for the best professional services. The designer can guide you through the whole process, so do not